Good morning. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing today? Hey BL, hey Vel. Hope you're all well. Hey Jordan, how you doing? Good morning, Pips Apprentice. So, just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This live market analysis is sponsored by Max Global Markets, a brokerage firm that is registered with and regulated by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the MAS. The Max Global Markets has no control or influence over the content of this analysis, which was generated by an independent party. The Max Global Market sponsorship of this video is only for promotional purposes and does not imply support of the material or viewpoints represented. Please remember that the information in this analysis is offered solely for educational and informational reasons and does not constitute financial advice. Okay, so with that, take that away. Hope you're all well. And if you are new to the session, do help me out. Leave a comment, say hi, let me know where you're joining us from. Love to find out. And if you can, help me click that like and subscribe button for the new viewers and also all you awesome regular viewers as well. Okay, click that like and subscribe button. If you're on trading view and you're watching, help me out, click that little rocket ship button as well. The Discord link is there. If you haven't already, I'm pretty sure most of you have. If you haven't already, do click on the Discord link and join us on Discord. And that's where we can take our discussions beyond this session through the day. Very important to do that is because, for example, like yesterday, we were looking, or during the session, I was anticipating that dollar strength to continue, but right after the session, we saw the dollar spike to the downside. I'll show you the chart here. Right, so this was right at that session. We were thinking that it could have pushed up to that 61.8 level, but right after the session, we saw the next hour it spiked right back down. So I had a quick revision of the analysis, updated everyone on Discord as well, posted a couple of ideas. I'll show you here. Right, posted a couple of updated ideas in terms of what could change in view because of that dollar weakness. So it's all there. So you make sure that not just attend the stream, but make sure you join the Discord channel. Make sure you follow me on TradingView, just so that if anything changes quite quickly, I can update you. I can let you know of a revision to the view of where I think markets could be heading towards. Okay. So with that said, hey Jimmy, how you doing? Hey Diana, how you doing? Hey D Train. Okay, so with that said, then what happened last night? Not a lot of news, right? As we were talking about on the during the session yesterday, not a lot of news. So didn't push prices too much, apart from what we saw on the dollar where it spiked down, right? It's continuation of that downtrend. We were thinking that it was going to bounce off this almost 106 support level to bounce back up. It didn't. It actually came right back down to test that support, right? Could test 105.70, which was right there before sitting in consolidation at this support level. So a brief move to the downside, no big continuation lower because no big news being released. And the conflict in the Middle East, in the Israel-Gaza area, it's still continuing on. I don't want to say it hasn't escalated because it's a terrible thing that's happening, but there hasn't been additional um, big headlines. It's just a discovery of what has happened so far, right? And that's why we haven't seen a big push to the downside. Um, is the sound back? Hello, hello, hello. Testing. Hello, hello. Why does this do this to me every day? Okay, sound is back. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I could just flip a coin every day and it would tell me whether I have a sound or no sound. But okay, seems like sound is back and it seems like we're good to continue on. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so we saw the dollar drop. Some got lower and lower, but okay. Let me try this then. Okay, let's try that, and also let me try something else. That as well. Okay, let's see if that works a bit better. All right. Okay. So I hope this works for you guys. If it is a little bit better. So like I was saying, that there wasn't. We saw the dollar drop down to this support level because of no further escalation in the conflict, despite what is the atrocities that are happening there at the moment. Okay, so for today, with the news being released, we haven't had too much all the way through to right now. What we are seeing is that for the news coming up tonight at 8:30 p.m., we do have the PPI numbers, the US PPI numbers to be released. And PPI is the purchasing where was it? Producers price index, not purchasing, producers price index, which actually is a leading indicator of consumer inflation, right? So a bit of an indication towards the inflation data to be released tomorrow. The CPI data for the US to be released tomorrow, likely to show a small drop year on year from 3.7 to 3.6. Okay, so we do have the PPI tonight. Again, this is month to month, looking to drop from 0.7 to 0.3. Core PPI from a 0.2 staying at 0.2. So looks like we might see this come around. I think that if you look at this core PPI, it excludes food and energy, right? And this is for the previous month. So I think that in this case, we're likely to see this stay at this level, but we might see a spike up into the next month because food and energy, if you consider PPI as food and energy and you look at energy prices, now, last month on a decline, early this month now pushing towards the upside on crude oil, especially WTI, crude oil as well, pushing to the upside. So we're looking at it pushing back up, WTI pushing back up. So we might see PPI low for this month or this release. Maybe the next release is going to show a bit of a spike to the upside. So something to watch out for there. With all that, you can see that no big news all the way through to the core PPI and the PPI numbers later. And then at 2 a.m. GMT plus 8, so early tomorrow morning, might be a good timing for you guys, but it's early in the morning for me. We do have the FOMC meeting minutes to be released, right? The FOMC meeting minutes to be released. In this situation, I don't think we're going to see a big surprise here. I don't think we're going to see a big surprise here. And because of this, right, no big, PPI maybe dropping, maybe showing inflation slowing down, inflation growth slowing down a little bit. No big surprise coming from expected to come from the meeting minutes. What we could anticipate here now looking at the charts is that maybe the dollar index is going to continue on its current slide and head lower, right? Continue on its current slide to head lower. So I'm happy with that. And you can, let me see if I can fit a channel into this. I have my, there we go. Okay, move the box a little bit to the side. So we see this, not a great channel. We did that, or we did that. Let me see if I can make it fit better. We can do that. No, I don't like the channel, but even without the channel, we can see that the dollar index is on that downward, recent downward trajectory. Right now, consolidating just above or between that 105.70 level and that 106 level. Okay, so, and it's also at that 50% level for the longer term, which we saw it bounce. If I did that, let me see. Right, even if I extended it all the way to the near peak, the most recent peak, you'd see that the dollar index is also still consolidating at that 61.8 level. All right, zooming it out a little bit, you can see that I'm actually catching this bottom here and that peak right up there. So that's where I'm doing that fib levels from. Okay, so 61.8 right there. So what I'm looking at here, with no big surprises to come, a continuation of trend to the downside, looks like the dollar index could sit along this level for now, but what we should be expecting, or what we could be expecting, is for the dollar to break below 105.70 and possibly head towards the next support level here at 105.30. This level here formed by that previous swing level which we saw towards the end of September at that point there. Okay, so this trend line is outdated. We can take that away. All right, so with that, the idea would be, let me see how I put this. Okay, there we go. Now let's put it down here. The idea would be, today being the 11th of October, dollar index could consolidate, can't spell, consolidate along 105.70, break support to head to 105.30. So some continued weakness for the dollar index to continue to the downside. There we have it. Okay, so we're looking for that to push lower, right at that support level right now. Okay. Hope that makes sense to you. Hey Desiree, how you doing? Hey Atir. Hey Goju. So I'm looking at that. That's okay. I'm considering, let me look at this. $38, so 23. No, that's a bit too far away. Okay. So I think it's going to sit around this area before pushing lower on the dollar index. I am happy with that. Okay. So with that, then looking at the Kiwi dollar, right? So we were saying that, hey, this was yesterday, expecting some dollar strength or recovery on that dollar strength. Didn't happen. So we take that away. That did not trigger, did not break that support. Right now, pushing back up again. So it's continuing on with this channel to the upside. Right, it's continuing on with this channel. And if I put in that middle line, I think you'd see that it's pushing back up. So we could see this rise towards that resistance, but you'll notice that it hasn't really broken that resistance very strongly either. So it tested earlier this morning before retracing back down again. Right, tested before retracing, now looking like a push back up. If the dollar does drop to the downside towards the next support level, then we could, or most likely going to see the Kiwi dollar push higher. Now, where could it get up to? Take that away. Just checking some levels. This is on H4 time frame. I'm looking at this point right here. Hey Zachary, how are you doing? Which is up there. Okay, I can take this one away. And that would be, so I'm looking at this as a next resistance level because of that swing point that we saw here about on the 11th of August. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for here. Now back to the H1 time frame. We're looking for this to break up above that resistance and continue towards that almost 0.61 round number resistance level. All right, and that still fits. Even if it took that, that still fits. Okay, so what I'm looking for here would be on the Kiwi dollar, if we could look to close above 0.6050. So above 6050, we have about a 40 pip take profit. We have a very tight stop loss of no more than 20 pips. Even 20 pips seems to be quite generous. If it does break up, then we could see that move towards the next resistance, 20 pips to 40 pip take profit. That would be quite a fair trade, anticipating that dollar weakness to come around. Okay, so this one on the Kiwi, we're looking to buy 0.6050. Yep. Stop loss 20 pips, take profit 40 pips. Okay, so dollar weakness continue. It's going to sit there for a while, so not ready yet. So look for that to push down, break below that support. Then we could see this push up 6050, 40 pips, 20 pips. That makes sense. Okay, I'm happy with that. Hey Jijo, I'm doing very well. How are you? Hey Robbie. That one makes sense. Okay. Just wanted to check something here. 23 is there. Okay, I'll take that. That doesn't make sense. It seems so close to the channel resistance, it might reject from that. It could. So that's one thing I was a bit hesitant about. But one thing why I think it's going to continue up is it might. So what I'm looking for is a move like that. So it comes up, it pushes up, it tests this level, and then it actually comes right back down again, or push back up a little further before coming right back down again. So something like that. Okay, the channel is there. The channel is there, but the channel is also drawn by me, right? The channel is drawn by me. The channel is drawn by you. It's really a line of best fit. If you actually took on another view like that, where you had more points of contact on the channel, in this case, then you'd see that it could go past and come right back in again. It could go past and come right back in again and again at this point. So it's not always the case that it would stay within the channel, because it's just how we draw it. at which levels are we comfortable to put the line towards. For example, if you looked at just catching the tail, right, or the shadow of the tail, then you could look at it being a little bit higher, or if you only caught the bodies, then you have it a little bit lower. So I'll take it more as a rough and ready approach rather than as a definite where it will hit that level and turn back down. Hope that makes sense to you, Diana? Well, it's a good point there. It is quite close. So I'm actually looking at it coming to about that point to test this level and then possibly reject back down. Okay, it's quite similar to what happened here. And you can see even for this, we're catching the body, not much the tail. So in this case, you can even see it go right across to that 2 points as well. All right. And yeah, I'll do a channel. I'll do a more detailed analysis of the channel in a video next time. So Jijo asks, how can we get this indicator on TradingView? There's no indicators there. It's just where is it? You go to this part here, horizontal trend line tools, and then you can draw the parallel channel there. Okay. Yes, it does. It depends on dollar index as well. 100%. It's ultimately down to what this guy does. It's ultimately down to what this guy does. And that's also why I'm a little bit more positive or more anticipating that it could break towards upside, because it looks like that downward pressure is going to maintain on the dollar index. Right, the downward pressure going to maintain, going to continue. Looks like it's going to continue pushing prices back down. Okay, so then next up, again, Aussie dollar did not trigger, so we take that away. Right now, broken above, or yesterday broken above that 61. That's not valid anymore. We can take that away. Now pushing this to the upside, and we'll consider a couple of levels here. Right, so if we catch this bottom to the top, we have it bouncing off that 23.6 fib retracement level. Right, we have it bouncing off that 23.6 fib retracement level, pushing to the upside. As an example, if we had a channel here, no, it wouldn't work. Right, if we had a channel here, it would look something like that. Not a perfect one. I'll take that away. At this case now that is pushing to the upside, I would be looking for, again, that dollar weakness to continue. That's the previous high. Needs to break past that point. All right, it's not really a resistance level, it's just a previous high. So look for that to break. Then you could be looking to buy it up. 6450. Take profit, or good, I would say conservatively a good 50 pips, just because of this point. So we do have our resistance at 6512 or 6510, but since it came quite close to that the last time round, right at that point, so I would say that we're looking at about a 45 pip take profit. Stop loss in this case, no more than 20 pips. Right, so we're looking for this to continue up, to push and do what it did towards the end of September, where it pushed up to 6496. We're looking for that same move again. I'm considering whether it might come down a little bit less. So it might just be about a 40 pip move to the upside. 40 pip would be reasonable. Let's just put it at 40 and then we'll take it from there. If it breaks, because it's so close to that resistance, I just see this as a lower high. So I'm not anticipating that it could break briefly before coming back down. So I think a conservative take profit will be at about 40 pips. Okay, so 6450, 20 to 40. Quite very similar to the, it's almost the same number to the Kiwi dollar. 6450, stop loss 20, take profit 40 to the upside for the Aussie dollar. Hey Suleiman, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Good morning, how are you doing? Okay, so it's just sitting there. It's retracing a little bit because that dollar is bouncing back up a little bit. But unless the Aussie dollar breaks below this support area, I wouldn't be looking to sell down. But yeah, we're still looking at that weakness on the dollar to continue. Okay, so we'll look for that move. Then onto the US yen, it's not doing anything, right? Didn't push to the upside. It's well within that range. I think we were talking about this yesterday, right? That the US yen was going to stay within this range. We were looking for a potential breakout. Hasn't done that. Right now, I think that this is likely to continue, right? So the US yen is likely to continue between that 148.30 level and that 149.30 level. So you see that there is, if it stays within this range, it's a good 100 pip range, right? It's a good 100 pip range, but despite it being a good 100 pip range, it's actually quite a hard to trade range, right? It's a wide enough range, but it's quite hard to trade because it is getting 100 pips at the maximum, but it is getting narrower and narrower. Most recently, you'd see that it was only moving since yesterday. It's only climbed up about 50 pips, right? So it's only climbed up about 50. Right now, it looks like it's pushing back down again. So I would say maybe stay away from the yen at the moment. You can see that pushing prices, looking like it's putting a cap on prices as well. So I would say stay away from the yen at the moment. Maybe a further push to the downside on the dollar together with maybe the Bank of Japan taking the chance to again have another stealth intervention. We might see if the yen breaks below 148.30, we might see a quick push down towards the support level of 147.30. Okay, so I'll take that 50 away. And you see that this coincides with that 61.8 level. So what I would position myself for, don't think it's going to happen in a hurry, but 148.20. And this is something I did right here, right? This is something I did when we saw that intervention, possible intervention from the Bank of Japan. I was positioning for a big move. In this case, 148.20. Very tight stop, no more than 20 pips. Take profit could go down to that almost 90 pips, we'll say 85 to the downside. Diana, yeah, you have it. See, that triangle is forming up, so that could form like that point there, right? So it might just bounce around here for a little bit, like it might just keep doing that, but I'm looking for that breakout to the downside, and if it triggers below 148.20, then we could see a big move, could see a big move towards that 147.30 level. Okay, so that's what I would poise or position myself for in terms of 148.20, 20 pip stop, 80, even 80 pip take profit to the downside. So sell 148.20, stop loss 20, take profit 80. I don't think it's going to happen today. I don't think it's going to happen today. The soonest I think it could happen might be with the CPI data. Now, if that comes out tomorrow at a 3.4, if it comes out at 3.4, even a 3.2%, then we're going to see a big move on the dollar index and we're going to see a big move on the yen to the downside. Okay, so maybe something for tomorrow, but we have it there just in case it happens a little bit sooner than we expect. I am very happy with that. I'm looking forward to that, in fact. All right. So with that, then the pound dollar not ready yet. So I did that pose there. A little bit more of a write up on the pound dollar. FPC yesterday did not do anything. Did not have any material information that caused the pound dollar to do anything different. Still continuing to the upside. I will maintain this view that if it does break above 1.23, so it touched 1.23 before retracing, this resistance is now a support level. It's broken my 61.8. So that makes sense. I'll just keep that there just to show why we have that as a support. That one's irrelevant for now. As well that. Okay, and if you look at this, again, just because we were just talking about trend lines just then, if we did just the bodies on that, right, so just catching out the main areas, it's right on the middle. We took that, it would, yeah, there might be a false, there might be a break and test and then a push back up again. So this is where you'll see that it broke out slightly before coming right back in again. I'm actually looking at this and we do have a big move with a tight, well, 40 pip stop here. And if we took that, I'm just wondering whether to keep thinking that is, whether to have an alternate scenario. Right, whether to have an alternate scenario where possibly because we do have tomorrow the GDP number to be released for the UK at 2 p.m. GMT plus 8, so just 1 hour before our session, minus 0.5, expected 0.2. Whether we could see this trade back down. I'm just wondering whether we could see this trade back down, especially after it found 1.23 and didn't seem to like it too much. So here's a bit of a speculative move, is that 1.2260, stop loss 20 pips, take profit 890, almost 100 pips to the downside, even did 90 there. Okay, let me just check euro. You see euro on that upward push, also finding that resistance there. So the main thing what I'm looking at here is that reaction to that resistance level. And in this case, it's at 50% on the euro. On the pound, it broke up above 61, looks like it's pushing back down. Dollar not doing anything, not doing too much, but yet we're seeing pound retrace back down. So I'm considering this. I'm thinking about the possibilities of this where now even 23 is not there. Most recent move, 23 will be right there. So it's just at that point. And 61.8 is right there. Let's put that as a possibility. Right? I like that. I like the idea of that. 1.2260 sell down because it's retracing, doesn't like that level, back down to that 90 pip. We had that actually. We had that from yesterday. Look at that. So yesterday we said sell 1.2260, stop loss 25, take profit 50. 1.2260 sell down. We can even do a 20 to a 90 pip, or maybe even a 80 pip move to the downside. Let's do that to that 61.8 level. So 1.2260, stop loss 20, take profit 80 towards that 61.8 pip retracement level. Right? I'll put in the additional disclaimer that this is a counter trend trade, not just counter to the pound dollar, but also counter to the way the dollar index has been moving. Okay, so maybe I'll look for that. That's one of the ideas. Then also now looking at the euro dollar. It's just done part one. So we were here yesterday. We're saying that we're looking for the euro dollar to come up towards that resistance and look for a reaction at that point. It's come up to that resistance. It hasn't given us a reaction yet. Right? Why I say that it hasn't given us a reaction yet is because it climbed right back up, tested that level, still testing that level, hasn't broken through or hasn't broken down from that level, that 50% level. So straddle would be valid here, 20 pips. Let's see, even if you did just for today kind of trade, you might be looking for it to break 1.0620, look to buy up 20 to 40. If it trades down, then you could be looking for a short below 1.06, 1.06, 1.0590. No, go for that. 1.0695. Stop loss 25. Take profit 50 pips. That's a bit of a guesswork. No, I think that we've got the pound dollar as a possible counter trend. We don't want to go counter on everything. We don't want to take too much risk on that. Pound dollar looks like it might be failing on that counter trend already. I think that we should be looking for a continuation to the upside on the euro dollar. All right, so what I'm looking for here is a break of that resistance, 40 pip. If it moves up close to that 40, then I'll move this to break even. And then after that, I'll drag the take profit higher. Okay, so I'll be happy. I'm happy with that. And it looks like it might be happening within the next hour. Might be something quite soon. Dollar index dropping strongly, right? Starting to drop. So is 1.0625. Stop loss 20, take profit 45. 1.06 buy, 1.0625. Stop loss 20, take profit 45. I'm happy with that. I don't think it's worth trying this counter trend. So update on this, I don't think it's worth trying the counter trend on the pound dollar. I would be instead looking for it to break strongly above 1.23. So not ready now. It's still just below that round number level. Needs to break below 1.23. Then you could have, let me check this. Yeah, I was just thinking of that. You could have this level here, just in the middle there. So that seems like it's setting up right now. We have 15 minutes, almost 15 minutes to the hour close. I'm looking for this to push up. Close of the hour would be a nice trade to the, could be a nice trade to the upside, and it's happening right now. Okay, so I would be looking for 1.231015 even. I could do that. Right, your immediate level, no, I would even go there. You could go as high as that, and you consider a possibility in the middle there. Stop loss, I would think of that round number, and I'll have it about 20, 30 pips. So there. Okay, so revision on the pound dollar is 1.2315, 30 pip stop, 90 pip take profit. Look at the dollar index dropping, breaking that support. I might have to revise the view on the dollar if it breaks that next support level down. So we're looking to buy 1.2315. Stop loss 30, take profit 90. Not a counter trend anymore. Euro dollar, we're looking to buy that up. Hey, via XP, no worries. Better late than never. Dollar push, dollar, euro dollar pushing up. Might still see further upside as well. So that's the first target, and then we got the next target further up. 15 minutes to the hour close. Stay tuned for that. Then the US Swiss franc did not trigger, now pushing down because of that dollar weakness. Someone did message me on TradingView about the US Swiss franc. I said that, not a pair I trade, but it's at the support level. So now with the dollar weakness, we're looking for this to push down. I would say that this is your next support level. So consolidation, break out the consolidation to the downside. You're looking to sell down 0.9025. Stop loss 30 pips. Take profit. Again, 90 pips to the downside. We need to see a lot of dollar weakness for this to happen. You could even do 30 to 60 right there. Right at that consolidation area. So that's what I would be looking for instead. Okay, 9025, 30 to 60. We have it, right? 908 is breaking that support. So 0.9025. Stop loss 30, take profit 60. Dollar bouncing a bit, so it's came down, probably grabbed a little bit of liquidity as it tries to break that support. going to bounce back up a little bit before maybe a continuation back down. Check it on 15. Now look, it's pushing back up because it's, look at it on the 15-minute, it was just closing just outside that Bollinger and that support. So it's bouncing back up, might come back a little bit before pushing back down again. So that's why you don't want to rush into a trade. Okay, you have to respect your levels, and also you don't want to rush into that trade using the Bollinger Band as another indication. Then onto the US CAD, onto the Loonie, right? I'll maintain this view that it's still in that range, right? The Loonie, it's testing that 1.36 support level, could bounce on dollar strength or drop on oil increase. Right now, it looks like it's still in that area, 1.36, just below that 1.36 level. Take that one away. Needs to bounce and break out. I would say that you could buy a little bit earlier, 1.3620. Stop loss 25, take profit 65. Sell down, stop loss 25, take profit. Very big take profit, 130 to the downside. Okay, and that was also posted here on the Canadian dollar strength possibility. So it's still sitting right at that point. Right, analysis is there as well. So I will maintain that view on the CAD. Zachary, I did do the Aussie dollar already. Just a quick recap on the Aussie is that we're looking for it to push up, break that resistance above 0.6450. We're looking for it to climb towards that near-term high, maybe slightly below that near-term high. So we're looking at 20 to 40 to the upside on the Aussie dollar. You're most welcome. And then on to gold. Right, gold yesterday we were looking to break the 1840 level because we were thinking that the dollar could regain some strength for it to trade down to 1831, but dollar did not regain that strength. In fact, the dollar continued to weaken. We have too many lines here, so we take some of that away. Okay, 61.8 is well and truly broken. So oops, I don't want to take that one away. So we can take that away, and I'm keeping this here just because I want to see, I like seeing that range there. But now gold breaking above that previous high of 1840.64. Right now at 1868, it's most likely going to climb towards this resistance area of 1885. Right, it's going to climb up towards this area. I think that despite this high here, I would say that it could climb further towards that recent high. Dinah asked, what's the cost of owning and operating a car in Singapore? It's much too high. Much too high. Why is that, Dinah? Why the sudden question about owning and operating a car in Singapore? There are a lot of details to that. So, but the simple answer is much too high. I will message you and give you the details through Discord later on. You can carry on that conversation after that. Okay. Yeah, it's significant. It's significant and ridiculous as well. Okay, so gold, 1860. If it closes above 1865, right now 1867. If it stays above 1865, we could, or most likely, see it climb towards 1884. Stays above 1865, most likely climb to 1884, 85. It's rounded up. There we go. Right, dollar, you can see that now back to the 15-minute. It's pushed up, back up again, sitting right there. It could come back up more significantly, but then we're possibly looking for it to continue to the downside. Yeah, it's going to sit there a little bit. I'm still looking for that push. Okay, then Kiwi still forming up. Aussie still sitting in, tested and retraced because of the dollar index. Look at that, right? Although the dollar is retracing, yen is not doing it. I'm actually very keen on that. Pound dollar sitting right across that indecision. Maybe that counter trend is still a good idea, but I think we look for that move. I'll leave that in for good measure. I'll leave that in just for good measure as something to remind myself to look out for. Euro dollar test looks like it might be a fake break coming back in. Give it time to develop. Maybe a counter trend as well. Update you if it changes from there. Sweezy sitting right there. CAD sitting right there as well. So now the question is on this guy. All right, did it come down to test that support, grab a bit, push right back up? Again, it looks like it's trying to do that. It looks like it's forming up for that move, especially towards the end of the hour now. I think that is something to watch out for. No major headline that could cause that move, right? I don't see any major headline there. Yeah. Very interesting the way it's moving right now. So watch that. I don't want to do another revision. I'm hoping not to have to do another revision on the analysis. But when it's at that support level, really anything could happen. But we are looking for it to break to the downside. Is there any news here? Metals rise as dollar eases. No, that's a date already. Dollar could get a lift from Fed minutes inflation data. Right. Yeah, inflation data is not going to be. It's tomorrow. Minutes is not. I don't think it's going to be a big surprise. So I don't see why it should be pushing any higher. I think it should test a little bit. Look like it's pushing back up before coming back down again. So I'm still looking at the dollar weakness. Okay, so yeah, thanks for that, Desiree. Basic car in current market is easily 200,000. You can drive it for 10 years. Yeah, fair about that. Yeah, okay. So with that said, yeah, it's just too much money. With that said, please remember, if you haven't already, to join the Discord channel, and please let me know if you have any other questions in Discord. Please trade well, trade safe, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care now. Bye bye.